Hello everyone, and welcome to In Case You Missed It for July 3rd, 2022, the news show where I run through all the headlines that I think are the most important from the past week. Before we get started, I just want to leave a quick note for you all that I won my appeal with YouTube. The stream from Wednesday is back up with Ashley's Thoughts and Frantic Missy, so go check that out, and screw Colbert and CBS and all the rest of those people that put the copyright claim that blocked that video. We won, we're back up, let's get into the news. Today it came out that Prince Andrew and Ghislaine Maxwell had an intimate relationship of some sort. Ghislaine Maxwell had unfettered access to Buckingham Palace any time of day or night, and all of the security came up with the opinion that yes, she indeed has some kind of a relationship with this guy. Now, everyone is acting like this is some kind of a bombshell, but we knew there were links between Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein. Was Ghislaine a romantic partner, or was she supplying, let's say, a need in Buckingham Palace? Was she a vendor rather than a romantic partner? I don't know, but the fact that there's this kind of a heavy connection with her, I think warrants an explanation at the very least from Prince Andrew, because Ghislaine Maxwell is still the only person in this quote-unquote sex trafficking ring that is paid any kind of a legal price other than, well, we could say Epstein, but that's a whole different can of worms, isn't it? I'm also furious about this because since Ghislaine Maxwell's the only one that's been sentenced, then all the other people have gotten off scot-free, and we know why that is. These are people of great privilege. So what needs to happen is there needs to be immense public pressure to figure out which other people there are involved, which we kind of know with different lists that have surfaced, how they were involved, and what we can do about it. They need to be prosecuted. They need to be punished. This horrible, horrible thing that they were doing, they are completely getting away with, and they will continue to get away with because of their status. Of course, Ghislaine Maxwell this week was sentenced to 20 years. 20 years in prison only for trafficking young girls and boys with Jeffrey Epstein. None of the people who she was trafficking them to, none of the people that flew on the plane to the island, none of the people that there are connections with, like Prince Andrew, none of this has been even addressed. She's the only one who's paid any kind of a price. She's the fall guy. Also this week, R. Kelly was sentenced on the same day, I believe, as Ghislaine Maxwell. She was sentenced to 20 years. He was sentenced to 30. R. Kelly got more time, 150% of the time of Ghislaine Maxwell for what he did. Now, I'm not saying that what he did was any better than what she did, but hers was definitely more involved and was definitely more aimed at younger children than his was. And hers went on for much longer. The seriousness of the crimes that Ghislaine Maxwell committed warranted, at the very least, a lifetime sentence. The very least. And the same for R. Kelly. Both of these people got off easy, and obviously we know why. Connections. That's it. The name of the game is connections. You can get away with anything if you have the right connections. The clown show that is the January 6th committee continued this week with Cassidy Hutchinson, former aide to Mark Meadows, the guy that lied to Trump about the state of things in Syria and Afghanistan. Yeah, that guy. One of his aides came and testified that Trump was furious during the January 6th incident and that he lunged for the steering wheel to try to drive to the Capitol and tried to choke one of his Secret Service members. Now, despite the fact that, according to Hutchinson, this is hearsay from someone told me that this happened, and the Secret Service agents that were in the car at the time are willing to testify under oath that this never happened. This is being taken as absolute gospel by the mainstream media, and they're saying Trump is a monster. He's willing to fight his own Secret Service to go to the Capitol, where his followers were armed with mysterious AR-15s that they brought there, snuck through all of the metal detectors and everything. They somehow had them, and they left them there, and they were found. Ah, yes, these AR-15s were found, but of course there's no record of this, and no one has ever heard of this before, but they definitely exist. That is the case, and obviously Trump is an evil fascist dictator who is trying to take over the country on January 6th. In the clip that got my stream banned on Wednesday and blocked in every country, and I had to appeal it because Stephen Colbert is a copyright cuck. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez dodged a question about running for president in 2024. She will just barely be old enough, but she will be old enough. She said her priority was keeping a democracy for anybody to be able to be president, because obviously democracy is under threat because well, the Supreme Court did their job. Trump exists, and that's all I can come up with, but that was her reasoning. Yeah, that was pretty much her reasoning. So we can look forward to Donkey Teeth running for president in 2024. I, personally, will definitely be voting for her. Jordan Peterson was banned this week for what a Twitter rep confirmed was hateful conduct after he said that Elliot Page suffered from the sin of pride, and also that Ellen which is what he called him, had her breasts removed. I'm saying this because the YouTube gods really looked down on what Twitter banned Jordan Peterson for, dead naming. They said it was dead naming, they said it was hateful conduct, and Jordan Peterson must delete this tweet before he's allowed back on Twitter. Peterson says he would rather die. I think that's hyperbole, but I don't think he's going to be back on Twitter. And moving on to international news, monkeypox have tripled in cases in Europe, up to over 5,000 cases now. And, oh my god, what is this? Please pause the video and read this next bit. The transmission rates are ridiculously high among men who have sex with men, which is something that was bannable about a month ago, and I don't know if it's still bannable, but that is now being said to be the case in Europe. I'm not confirming it, YouTube. Don't ban me, please. But that's what they're saying, and they're also saying that two specific raves, men who have sex with men from two specific raves, were the super spreaders for monkeypox in Europe. Yes, that's correct. Check my sources. They are in the description of this video. Joe Biden has solved the gas crisis in the United States. This week, he told the gas companies to simply charge less. Oh my god, who would have thought that this was the way? This is how we fix these ridiculously high gas prices that are an average of $4.82 nationwide. Yes, he said, do it now. Do it now. I want you to lower the gas prices and do it now. Americans, he said, are going to have to suffer through high gas prices as long as it takes to defeat Russia in Ukraine. A White House representative also this week said that the high gas prices are something that Americans will have to suffer for the good of the liberal world order. Yep, that's it. We're just going to have to deal with it. And the only solution that they can come up with is tell the gas companies to lower their prices. In response to this, Jeff Bezos said that Biden is an idiot, essentially, and has no idea how anything works in the economy. He said, quote, people are not that dumb. Also, a spokesperson for the Chinese Communist News, and I'm not making this up, mocked Biden over this, saying that the US president is finally realizing that capitalism is all about exploitation. When we're in a situation where things are so bad, as far as the prices of things and inflation and all of this, that the only thing you can say is charge less money. One, you're not cognitively fit to be in office. I'm just going to come out and say it. Two, you should be impeached because you're just unfit to be in office. And three, you're unfit to be in office. Just get out. Just go. Like, why are you here? Everyone should look at this and just be like, this guy is the most useless pile of dog crap that we've ever had as a president. Ever. Ever. I don't care if you hated Trump or not. Telling the gas companies to just lower their prices as a solution to high gas prices due to your policies it's just a big middle finger to the American people. It's just saying, we're not going to do anything. Just deal with it. Just deal with it. And the Supreme Court has asked Maryland officials, specifically Republican Governor Larry Hogan, to enforce the state and county laws that prohibit picketing the private homes of the justices. So it's against the law in Maryland for people to go out and picket at a private home because they have laws about they shouldn't be able to assemble with one another in a manner that disrupts a person's right to tranquility in a person's home. So we have 75 protesters protesting late at night. They're protesting all over the place in front of the houses of these justices. So look, if you're protesting Roe v. Wade, and you have every right to do so, take it to the Supreme Court building. Take it to the public areas. Take it to the streets. Don't go to people's private homes and do this, especially after what happened with the guy trying to go kill Brett Kavanaugh, right? Nicholas, whatever his name was, came out from California, and he was mad about the Roe v. Wade leak, and he was there to kill Brett Kavanaugh. When we've already seen this happening, you need to enforce these laws. They're trying to intimidate the Supreme Court justices. We cannot have this. This is something that is just not, it's not allowable. They can go protest at the Supreme Court. They can go protest in public areas, but not at people's private homes. Not at their house. That's too dangerous. They're trying to intimidate the Supreme Court justices. And finally, the fear-mongering around Roe v. Wade continues as people are sitting here saying it's going to punish women who have stillbirths. Oh yes, women whose pregnancies end in a tragic way, they're going to be punished for it under this repealing of Roe v. Wade. They bring out the case of one Chelsea Becker, who had had a nationally famous case because she was put in jail after having a stillbirth. What they fail to mention during their fear-mongering is that this woman was put in jail because she was using copious amounts of methamphetamines that resulted in the death of her fetus, baby, whatever you want to call it. Now, look, you can have the argument about whether she should have been put in jail or not for this. I don't care. I personally think if the state is going to protect the life of the unborn child, then if the mother's using amphetamines and it kills the baby, then in order to be consistent, you've got to punish her for that. I wouldn't call it first-degree murder. I don't even think I'd call it second-degree murder. But there's some kind of repercussion there that you're gonna have to take a look at, because if incidentally or accidentally causing harm or death to a child who is born is going to be a crime, and you're going to afford those same protections to an unborn child, then you must follow through and punish the person who causes harm to the unborn child. I'm just saying, for the matter of consistency. That's all I've got for you guys today. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.